This is Ricky Bobber and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ricky Bobber. I do motorcycle related content, mostly around the Indian Scout Bobber, and some stuff I'm just blabbing. And this one's going to be about the Indian Scout Bobber. So I'm going to hop on real quick and I'm going to talk about just a couple of things that I do not like about the Indian Scout Bobber. I'm going to get this sucker going and tell you what those things are in just a sec. You may not recognize where I am right now. It doesn't look familiar from any of my other videos, and it's because I went for a little bit of a ride today. I'm actually near San Diego Harley-Davidson. The reason I came here is because I'm looking at a new bike. Just kidding, I'm not. I always know that there's motorcycle riders around here, and I was posted up over there in that corner trying to get some motorcycle shots with my camera. I brought my 105mm lens today. I was gonna do some action shots of people turning the corner, and I went to take photos and my memory card was not in there. And my D750 is a dual card camera, so there's two slots, and I usually always have one in there. Always. And I had them both out for some reason. If I was doing like a wedding or something important like that, I would definitely like do a checklist. But this was just me coming out on a ride just to shoot some photos for funsies. So I decided to go over something that I was kind of been thinking about doing, and I guess I'm doing it now. But I wanted to go over the 5 things I do not like about the Indian Scout Bobber. Don't get me wrong, this is a very awesome bike. I do recommend it. I have recommended it. I've done videos of me talking about it, why I decided to choose it. I'll put the little title card up here. If you're watching on your phone, you can see that. Maybe even throw it on the end card. Just like every motorcycle, just like many brands, there are things that you're gonna want to change right away. And for me, a perfect example. This seat hurts like hell. If you're riding it for more than 30 minutes, you start to feel it. I'm gonna be so bold as to say it doesn't even hurt my ass, it hurts my family jewels. So number 1 is the seat. I have not been fortunate enough to try out other seats. I have, however, had word of mouth from people telling me which ones they like. I talked to Ricky Not So Martin at the Get On Moto Fest, and he was telling me that his comfort seat is a game changer. And so I hear good things about that. I've also heard very good things about Corbin seats, and that's actually what I'm gonna shoot for. I do want the Corbin seat. It looks really slick, and people are telling me that they're really comfortable. They're all handmade, and I'll put in a picture here. I've mentioned it before, but this is a list of all the things, so I'm doing it kind of all consolidated into one video. The other thing that I would change on the Indian Scout Bobber is the shocks. Or should I say are the shocks, because it's plural. Is the shocks? Are the shocks? The other thing I would change are the shocks. The thing I would change is, let's say is. Tell me what you think in the comments. Is it is the shocks or are the shocks? So they come with the Indian stock shocks. Not very many people enjoy those, including myself. I do hear you can get some really good aftermarket ones. I know that Indian does also offer the Fox shocks that you can get from the dealership. They're contracted with them to do those if you want as an upgrade. Of course, there's other third-party shocks as well, like Oleans. There are Progressive 444s. The rest of them escaped my mind at the time. Everyone I know who has mentioned that they've changed their shocks have mentioned what a world of difference it is. So basically, any other third-party or aftermarket shocks are going to be better than the stock shocks. The third thing that I'm not a fan of, if this was to go away, it would get rid of the look. Something to do with the gas tank. It's a 3.3 gallon gas tank. I really do like the shape of it. I like the shape and the contourness of the whole bike, but it does have a really shallow center. I'll show a little clip right here. So it's like basically like to my first knuckle. It's super short. So when you're putting gas in there, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Now it's actually more of a pain in the ass in California because California gas pumps have what's called the vapor lock on it. I don't know if you guys know what the vapor lock is. Californians know, or if you've been to California, you may have had trouble putting gas. But the plunger on the pump basically has to be pushed back and inserted to be able to pump gas. So it knows if there's any kind of like air escaping, which is why it's called the vapor lock. I could be butchering the explanation, but that's kind of the idea of how it works. So every time I put gas in, I basically have to use two hands. I have to, one, pull the trigger, and then two, pull up the plunger. But the other states, you just have to pull the trigger. And I've seen, I mean, Zoolander, gasoline fight, hello. You couldn't have a gasoline fight in California. There's this video going around when there was a gas shortage of this dude putting gas in the back of his truck, like just in a tarp. And he like drove off and it was spilling it everywhere. So he was just kind of like willy-nilly just doing it like it was a hose.
You know that this is really dangerous, right?
What are you doing, dude?
You know that this is really not safe.
Leave me alone, alright?
He's just gonna drive off. Look at its
Oh my god! What is he doing? Look at that! Are you serious? No, he didn't!
Yes, totally.
No, he didn't!
There's this other video where this van tries to pull up and it looks like they're about to rob this dude pumping gas, and he just starts spraying them with the gas hose. So you couldn't do that in California. But what it's getting at is the tip doesn't go in very far, giggity, and it's just kind of a pain in the ass to get it going with both of those things working against you. Another thing I would say, maybe this is number 3, and I will give this one to Harley Davidson, is that there aren't very many aftermarket accessories for the Indian Scout Bobber. Now, there's enough for you to do things, right? But I know with Harley, you have a very wide variety to choose from. With Indian, you don't have much of a variety. You do have some stuff, and you have a select few to choose from. I would like to see that. I would like to see more of that from the manufacturers, more stuff. One big company in the whole aftermarket scene is Dean Speed Customs. They're doing a lot of stuff. They're doing some sissy bars. They're doing some highway crash bars and other things like racks and stuff. And I think even handlebars, if I'm not mistaken. But it's still not even anywhere near the amount of stuff you can get for a Harley. And that was all considered when I thought about getting the Indian Scout. I mean, you could rock this Scout pretty much stock and it still looks pretty badass. What I'm going for, my certain aesthetic, the certain look I'm going for, is I'm going for all black. I've even gone so far as to spray paint some stuff on here to turn it black, like the lettering or the badging on the gas tank. I turned from silver to black. This little thing that I'm calling a derby cover, because I don't know what else it's called, I painted that black. And I want to do some other things like add some fork boots. I know that they have some fork boots that cover up the silver part of the front shocks. Let's see which way I'm going. Ooh, I'm gonna go through here. Yeah. Well, this is Presidio Park. Do they have a stop? Yes, they do, and I do not. So in San Diego, there's a lot of things that are called mission this, mission that. There's Mission Valley. There's the actual Padres is a Padre is a friar or a priest. It all goes back to this. So this is a mission, one of the very first things here in San Diego. I don't know the history of it, and I'm not going to pretend I do know, but I know that's very old. It's like a historical spot. So this part of town is called Mission Hills. What I do like about this neighborhood is that a lot of these streets are named after pirate-related things. And I like pirate-related things. I think there's a Blackbeard Street, and there's the Jackdaw. Actually, I only know about the Jackdaw from Assassin's Creed. It's the name of the ship. If you guys know Assassin's Creed, it's based off of a real historic events, just obviously altered. Something else that you may not like about the Indian Scout Bobber is if you don't like talking to people, then don't get an Indian Scout Bobber, because people are going to tell you that they like your bike. They're going to start saying, wow, these look pretty cool. If you're an antisocial person, you're not going to want a Scout Bobber, because people are going to want to talk to you about it. And 5 things that I would change about the Indian Scout Bobber. The 5th thing is the exhaust tips. So man, it sounds really horrible. I put some GP shorties on here. They're York brand. GP shorties is how they're listed on Amazon. I'll have the link below. As you can hear, it sounds pretty badass. They were very inexpensive, very easy to put on. I have a video on how to do that as well. But yeah, no one's gonna really want to keep the stock exhaust. And the other thing about it, sound, just like even disregarding how it sounds, is that they're really long. They go out past the back of the tire, and that's kind of troublesome for when you're backing into a spot. I didn't really have much time with my stock exhaust. I just wanted to be louder so people will hear me. And the York GP shorties, or whatever they're called, is definitely a cheap way to customize your bike and to also be heard a little bit better, because as they say, loud pipes save lives. I do believe in that. I noticed as soon as I put them on, people are looking more, they're turning their heads. I don't know if it's because just they want to say, oh, what is that? Or that sounds badass, or like, oh, look, there's somebody on a motorcycle. Like, I don't know which one of those it is, but I am getting more heads turned now that I've done that. I do believe that it's making me more quote-unquote visible when someone can hear me. They're looking for where that sound is coming from. I don't ride like early in the morning or late at night, so I'm not really pissing anyone off with that. Like, I don't ride at 2 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning or anything like that when anyone's sleeping. Maybe if a baby is sleeping, like taking a nap during the day, but I don't even think there's any babies near me, really. Special shout out to those of you that came over from Her Two Wheels. I think I got about 40 new subscriptions from her video where she name dropped me. That was pretty awesome of her. Thank you very much, Jess, Her Two Wheels. I'm not sure if she watches my videos, so I know she knows who I am because I met her in Texas. But she did name drop me in her video because I sent her a little Funko thingy. She now has a road glide that she calls the Appa glide, so I sent her a little Funko Appa. Alright, so I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thank you very much for watching and making it this far. If you did like it, please give it a like. If you have something to say, please say it in the comments. And if you want to see more, please subscribe and hit that bell notification. I haven't really told anyone to do that before, but I'm noticing that some people don't know when my videos are coming out, and I am guilty of not really being consistent. I come out with them on Tuesdays, Fridays, Sundays, whatever. But if you hit that bell, you'll probably see something come up if you're interested. No pressure. But anyways, thanks again for watching. I'll check you on the next one. Later.